Today we're going to talk a little bit about organization, regulation, and insurance in the setting of being a small business. And just to kind of give us a little background on who we are and what we do, Shay is our newest associate at the firm, and he's going to be manning our Bay City office. Our firm is now 9 lawyers in 4 different locations, which makes us still a small business, but all of the things that Mike talked about earlier all apply to us, but just kind of in a different way. And one of the things that we have tried to do as we have moved forward with growing our business is to recognize that it is a business. And so many of the things that you guys are hearing about today are things that we've struggled with over the course of the last 5 years that we've really been growing our business. And what you'll realize if you talk to a lot of lawyers is most of us had no intent to be businessmen, right? You know, I got into this profession because I wanted to be a paid thinker. That's what I always tell people. I think big thoughts and I write them down and I get paid for it. But that's not, somebody still has to pay you for that. And so that is our business. And so our business is a little different. We don't make things. We help people solve problems. But at the end of the day, what we have tried to focus on over the course of the last, especially 2 years, and as we're moving forward with the additional offices, is to make our practice more customer-centric. It's not about us as a lawyer, it's about our customers, their experience, to make it less scary, to make it more transparent, to help people understand what we do and how much it's going to cost before we get involved in a transaction. And I think that's a lot of times what we'll see, and we'll talk about this in a later slide, is people don't go out and do what we were talking about earlier about getting advice, especially from a lawyer, because they're frightened, right? It's kind of a scary process. What's this person going to tell me? Or it's too expensive, or it's just too much trouble. It's just too time consuming. I don't have the time to deal with it. Shay and I actually just met with a situation in Matagorda County, as a matter of fact. And if the fella had come to us for an hour or two of us looking over some documents before he signed them, contracts, probably would have cost him, maximum of $500. He could have saved himself about $75,000, which is where he's out of right now. And so please don't be that person. Recognize that there are lawyers who will tell you what they charge in advance and will hopefully make the process a little easier to navigate. So part of what we've been doing recently is to do more upfront pricing. So I'll tell you in advance, this is what it's going to cost. That's all you're ever going to owe me. This is the number. Now, we can't do that on everything, but on lots of things, especially related to businesses, we can. The other thing we try to do is have more online interaction where you can submit questions by text or online. A lot of the information that we need from you, we're going to have in online forms and client portals will come directly back to us. And therefore, you're not having to take time out of your busy day to come to our office on our terms. We're going to send the information we need to you. We'll get it from you. You get it to us on your time, and we incorporate that. And then the last thing that allows us to do is to have really prompt responses. And so to give you an example of some of the things we're doing, how many people in this room have a will right now? All right, give all of those people a notepad. They deserve a notepad for having a will. So you guys have thought about it and taken the time. And I don't know how many of you guys have remembered that process. I don't know how many of you guys went through, of the people that have wills, how many went through someone other than a lawyer, like something online. No, there we go. There you go, LegalZoom, some of these things. Okay. So that is an indictment on my business, right? So I should be better than that. No, and that's true. It's a truthful thing for us to recognize is we shouldn't be mad at LegalZoom. We should be mad at ourselves. We haven't met a need that people have. So we're trying to fix that every day. So one of the things we are promising, and this is something that we're doing right now, again, there's a lot of online involvement in all this, and that's we'll have a will package, what we call an estate planning package, prepared, and you can sign it within a week. Okay, we can do that right now. So if you call us, we'll send you something, and within a week you can be in our office. Now, most people don't get it back as promptly as we'd like, but as promptly as you want to do it, we can do it. It's a flat rate, so I'm not going to hide the ball with you, but that's a direct reaction to other factors that we talked about earlier today, which is what's the trend? What's the market? how do we come up with these numbers? It's because this is what we can do it for, and this is where if we, increase our business a certain amount, we're not making a lot of money on that because we have to pay a lot of people. I've got 9 lawyers that I have to pay and 12 staff. So I got a lot of mouths to feed. So a lot of money comes out of every little thing that I do, but that's not an excuse on mine. That's a recognition that I run a business. And just like all of you guys in this room, I've got to pay attention to the little things to make it work. We're going to talk a little bit about organizations, setting up LLCs, setting up limited liability companies, corporations, all of these things. I will also tell you almost all of those things we can do on a flat rate. You will call me and say, how much is it to set this up? And I will tell you, this is what it will cost. This is all it will ever cost. Now, it's not a license forever. It's to do a set thing. And then if there's a dispute later, if there's whatever, obviously, that's a new matter and we'll have to talk about it. But at the end of the day, there's no reason. We don't want the scariness or the price of getting involved with a lawyer to be a hindrance for anybody to kind of get some of the protections we're going to talk about today.